Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening to all of my sponge bobbies out there. Hope you all are doing great. This is your host, Classy Thomas, here to bring to you the second part of my multi-part collection tour. We're down in the basement today, so I'm going to move us on over to the basement and see what we can see. All right, I will come and check back with you after the tour is complete. All right, beginning with this detail, we're going to start with the Boy Wonder Robin. This is actually Damian Wayne's Robin. It's a statue from Sideshow Toys. It is, I think, a quarter scale, and I really enjoy this because he has a switch out arm with his katana, and as you can see, his cape is also posable. It's a wired cape, and he has a second head option to go along with this. So this is our Robin. Moving down, we're starting with our Justice League. Starting out with the Trinity, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. All of these are Hot Toys, and I think they look pretty amazing here. I love having them there. Coming down to the next shelf, we're dealing with a mixture of figures, all from the Aquaman universe. We have a third party figure to our left, which is Ocean Master, and he played the antagonist of the Aquaman movie. Behind him is Mira. She was a kit that I purchased and used on a Fight Somebody. To her right is Aquaman from the Aquaman movie, and then of course in front is Aquaman's mommy. All right, now let's go down to our next shelf. You have to pardon me as I'm adjusting in a small space here. Okay, so now with some more of our Justice League, we have to our left Barry Allen's The Flash. This is a Hot Toys figure, and it's represented by Ezra Miller. In the back, we have Black Canary, and this was just a kit bash of the head, the Fight Somebody, and then just random items of clothing that kind of reminded me of the comic book version of Black Canary. In the very back, we have a version of Green Arrow. I believe he's from Toys era. And the head is actually a random head. I think that's the one that represents the actor Charlie Hunnam. And in the very front, we have Zatanna, the Magician. That was also a kit that I purchased, and the head was just a random head. She's on a Feisty body. I think I'm going to change the head sculpt to something a little bit less. I don't think this head quite fits the look of the rest of the people in the cabinet, so I may change that one. And then on our final shelf down below, we have the Flash from Hot Toys. From Sideshow Toys in the very front left. In back of him, we have another version of Green Arrow, and this actually is from So-So Toys. In back of him is a Sideshow's figure, Green Lantern. And in the very front, we have another Flash. That is, I think, is Toys era. I'm not certain, but he is. Those are my multiple Flashes. All right, so why don't we move to our next cabinet? We'll look at some more figures. Okay, now we're at our next set of cabinets. We're starting off with Star Wars. I apologize for the glare of my light. He's actually in a case, and I would have had to remove it to be able to show him about the glare. But he is from Sideshow Toys, and this is actually the Darth Vader. I can't tell you which version he is, but those of you who are experts with Star Wars would probably know. And if you do know, please feel free to tell me in the comments. I have his box somewhere, but I can't. All I know is it's Darth Vader. I can't tell one Darth Vader from the next, so your help would be greatly appreciated. Now, on this top shelf of our DTOF, we have Farm Boy Luke, that's Hot Toys, and we have Princess Leia to the right. Both of these are Hot Toys figures. In the very back, we have C-3PO and R2-D2. C-3PO is Sideshows. However, I have ordered the Hot Toys version and will probably replace him. The very front is actually just a play toy R2-D2, but he was weathered and detailed and looked so good. I decided to put him in the cabinet until I received mine from Hot Toys. Now, on our next shelf, we have Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Lando Calrissian. Han Solo is actually the one from, this is the body and the clothing from the Solo movie, and I replaced it with a Harrison Ford head. This is a Hot Toys put together, but I really like that costume, so I decided I would use that instead. I know it's not canon, but hey, it's canon for me. The back where Chewbacca is, he is actually part of the Han Solo Chewbacca 2 set that had the older version of Han Solo, and Han is still in his case, in his box rather. But I needed a Chewbacca and I liked it, so I got him. And of course, in the very front, we have Lando, played by the legendary Billy D. Williams, and this is him in his Cloud City outfit. Now, moving down, we have Boba Fett, and we have another version of Lando, which I believe came from, was that The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi? I can't remember. This is the one where I think they were on the barge with Jabba the Hutt, and they were rescuing Princess Leia, if I recall correctly. Again, if I'm incorrect, please feel to correct me in the comments. But both of these are sideshows. The Boba Fett is the original Boba Fett that was released. I actually purchased him from a comic book store, but they didn't have the box. All they had was the figure and his accessories. And I was very happy to have him, so I just went on ahead and got him. Now on the bottom, this is not anything related to sideshows. We're here with some Marvel properties. Of course, we have our 3 Wolverines. The back 2 are from Sideshow Toys, and the front was a kit which will give you the ability to make Weapon X. The body is a Fison M34 body, and he looks pretty amazing. I've actually ordered the Anakin, the young Anakin, and was it Padme, I believe? So once I receive those, I'll put them at the very top underneath Darth Vader, and then all the rest of these will slide down. So I'll kind of have the Star Wars family as I know them. I'm not going to be probably collecting any of the movies that came after the original trilogy. All right, so let's move on to our next cabinet, and we'll look at some more figures. Okay, now these figures are actually ones from my, starting with some of my anime types of stuff. So these are all figures from the Naruto television show. I really enjoy anime, and I'm sure we have some anime fans out there also. These come from random manufacturers, all of them I believe third party, but I really enjoy them, and so I'm very happy to have them on my shelf. Moving down, we have ourselves something a little spicy here. To our left, we have Keanu Reeves playing Constantine. And then here we have the toys, the So-So Toys version, if I recall correctly. It's either So-So Toys or Toys era. But this is their version of Constantine. And then to our further right, we have John Wick with both of his little puppies. Unfortunately, the poor little beagle was murdered in the first movie, and shame on those bad guys for hurting that cute little puppy. But then we have his new little doggy that he rescued from the pound. So John Wick still has his companion and is still able to look out for his buddy, his man's best friend. Now coming down here, we have Kick-Ass and Hit Girl, along with Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman was a third-party figure. I can't recall. It was from a long time ago. But I got her because I wanted the representation. I may at some point do a little reworking of this figure. But, you know, I like having her on here, so I'm just going to keep her here for a while. And then this is a kit bash that I put together, which is Kazara and Shanna the She-Devil, along with Zabu, their saber-toothed tiger. The head sculpt on this guy is actually the Brad Pitt, I think, from Gladiator. But I figured, why not? Brad can be Kazar if he wants to. All right, let's go to the next place and look. All right, now these are a group of figures that I got. Everything in this cabinet is from a manufacturer in China, I think called ACG Toys or something like that. And I saw their figures and just fell in love with them because they have the most amazing props and things for dioramas. Everything like the chair, the desk, all the little accessories like the pens, the paper. He's actually an artist, and he comes with, this one actually came with the one figure, and I purchased a second head and used another figure to kind of make his brother, his little twin brother back there. And they're both artists working to create comic books and fun stuff like that. So that's them. Moving down, we have the figure, his name is Teddy Boy, I think. And Teddy Boy actually is from the same manufacturer as the top one. His actually came with two heads. Actually, all of the next three figures, including this one, came with two different heads. And so I just got an extra body and some more clothes to put them in there. But this diorama that represents like a subway station or a bus stop or whatever it is actually came with the figure, which is pretty cool. And I really enjoy and like this a lot. Coming down, we have the next two figures. This one came with both outfits, two heads, one body. The stand is the stand that comes with them. And what I did, of course, is I got a second body. He comes with like the fiery kicking fists, kicking feet, and other cool stuff. And I really like this one a lot. And then down below on the bottom row, we have our next set. Both of them, the heads came with the figure. The body was, I got a second body. He came with two shirts, so I got an extra pair of pants. And the motorcycle is just one that I purchased on eBay. So these are actually some of my favorite figures. As a matter of fact, if I were to say, I'd probably say the top two are my favorite of all time in my entire collection. All right, so let's move on to our next area and look at more figures. All right, we are back, and this is where I get a chance to get my anime geek on. Of course, anybody who knows me knows that I really have a great love for Dragon Ball. And so, of course, we have our Dragon Ball figures. The Goku and Vegeta figures on the far left and far right both came from kits. The flaming or the power effects that they're on their bases actually were third-party bases I purchased. However, the figure in the center, which is Piccolo, he was actually part of the Real Action Figures of, I can't recall the manufacturers, but if you go to like eBay or someplace and type in RAH, then you'll come up with all of the different figures. The Gohan standing below him actually was part of that same series. And of course, you have little Goku down at the bottom by the Goku sign, I mean, by the Dragon Ball sign. And that was just a little third party pixie that I got on Wish or something like that. Now, moving down, now we're getting to some zombie stuff. Robert Kirkman's The Walking Dead. We have Negan in the back with his bat Lucille about to bash in Glenn's head like he did in the TV show. Next to them we have Rick Grimes, the main antagonist of the TV show, and his son Coral. In the very back we've got Zombie Shane, the guy who tried to take his family away while he was in the hospital, healing from all of his wounds when the zombie apocalypse started. And in our very front, taking a knee, is my boy Morgan, the coolest guy to ever bear a bow stick, a bow staff. He could tear some people up with that stick, I tell you what. And then next to him is everybody's favorite zombie apocalypse killer, and is Michonne with her two pets in the very background, who kind of help protect her from all of the things in the apocalypse. Now coming down to this shelf, we've got some more Walking Dead people. We have to our far left Ezekiel with his tiger Sheba, and then we have Carol, who I'll tell you what, that's another character. You don't mess with Carol. Carol will mess you up, and then she'll bake you cupcakes. That's how my girl rolls. I mean, she just got it going on. In the very back there, looking dolphin smooth, we have our boy Abraham. He was not part of the... Now, all of these figures, I believe, are from 3-0, except for Abraham and Carol. I actually purchased the Carol kit, and Abraham was just a head sculpt, and I just got a body and put some clothes on it. In the very back there, we have Merle, the brother of Daryl, and, you know, he was a bad boy that kind of redeemed himself in the end. And then, of course, we have Daryl Dixon to the far right, and his best friend, Dog. Dog and Sheba didn't come with any of these kits. They actually, they didn't come with any of the figures. I actually purchased them separately. I'm a big fan of really nice animal figures. So I purchased them. They're kind of resin sculpts, and they look really good. So I just decided to purchase them. You have to tell me in the comments how you like them. Now, we got more zombie stuff here, but this is from a different universe. This is from Resident Evil, the video game and the popular movie series. To our far left, we have the brother and sister combo of Claire Redfield and Chris Redfield. In the very back, we have Jill Valentine wearing her signature tube top, which I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, that's standard regulation police attire. However, we'll let it slide. In the very front, we've got Alice. She is the main antagonist of this franchise, and she's looking fierce with her two weapons and her zombie dog to the right. The figure in the very back, I cannot recall what her name is, but I found her. She was part of the universe, and I just said, well, I think she'll fit she'll fit in the cabinet with everybody else. Then in the red, we've got Ada Wong, and in the very front, we have what is my boy's name? Leon Kennedy. That's right, Leon Kennedy, and he's there holding his. That's not a bazooka, but that is that. Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to put a hurting on somebody when it explodes. So watch out if you're a zombie, because he's coming for you. All right, now coming down here, these are some random figures that I have from that I purchased that are part of TB League series of they have like Egyptian inspired figures. Um, to the far left, we have Cleopatra. In the very back is Nefertiti, and in the front is Tut. And then the far right is, I'm not sure of her name, but she's just a nice random, um, a random Egyptian slave or something like that. Uh, I'm not going to comment on the historical accuracy. I just got them for their artistic representation of Egyptians. And on the bottom level, we've got to our left Arnold Schwarzenegger as Conan the Barbarian. He was actually a kit that I got and put on a Fison body. But to the right, we have Hercules. Hercules is actually a TB League figure kit that came with a ton of accessories. I couldn't even put them all out here, but it's pretty amazing. So, yeah, that's what we have in this area. So, let's move on to our next area, and I'll be back with you in just a second. All right, now we're back on a little bit of DC love over here. We're going to start with our buddy and the baddest Bostick in the universe, Lobo. This is a Sideshows figure, and I was really happy. I got him at a comic book store, and my local one. I was really happy when I got him because I love this character. And of course, he can't hang out with anybody, just anybody. He got to hang out with Eric Cartman down here. While he's sitting there, they're both saying, respect my authority. Respect my authority. Now, I also told you about my love for animal figures, and this is another one, a beautiful lion. I'm gonna find a spot for these animals in a little while once I kind of get things set up. But I absolutely love the way this animal turned out. He's gorgeous. Now to our right, we've got Poison Ivy sitting there on her Poison Ivy throne with her beautiful, deadly plant beings, and they're so she's a bad girl. She's bad to the bone. Then we've got a beautiful lioness next to her, and to our far right we have our girl Katana. Many of you may have seen her from the first Suicide Squad movie, but Katana, she knows how to wield her sword that will steal the souls and trap them in there of the evil. Yes, Katana. All right, let's move to our next section. We're going to have a little more DC love. All right, we're back, y'all. Let's take a look at our super family. Starting to the very left, we have So Toys Boy of Steel, and he also is known as Superboy in the comics. Can see him on the Titan TV show, and he's there with Crypto. They did a fine job on Crypto. I'm very pleased. At the very back, we have Black Suit Superman. This is actually the Transcendent figure. I forget the manufacturer, but it's a third-party figure, and I really like it, though. In the very front, we have Power Girl, who was a kit, and I put on a Fison body, and she's there looking like I'm ready to bust some faces if anybody talks about my chest window. And in the very back, we've got Superman himself from Sideshow Toys. And in the very front, we've got Supergirl, who is also a kit that I put together. And she's sitting there looking like, hey, yeah, I'm ready to fight crime with my super family. Now, moving down a little bit. Now we're still staying with the DC theme and doing the DC love. And we have got Robin the Boy Wonder there from the 66 Batman television show. And to his right is Batman himself. Yes, yes, yes. And of course, we've got third party, the Joker, otherwise known as the prankster villain. And he's there, messing with, I think he's trying to give Batman a wet willy or something like that. Because, he's just got all kinds of jokes. Now, moving to the right, that was a Sideshow Superman body, and I got a Christopher Reeves head to put it on there because at the time I could not find nor could I afford the actual Christopher Reeves that was put out. So I said, I'll just make my own. I don't really care about the accuracy, whether or not it's screen accurate. It's got the S, it's blue and red, and it's got Christopher Reeve's head on it. That's good enough for me. Then to the right, we've got Wonder Woman. This also is some Sideshow. However, I added the cape, and I basically got a different head because I did not like the sculpted hair that was on the figure. So I bought a head sculpt myself, put a tiara on her, and put her in the cabinet to represent Wonder Woman. So they're kind of going back a little bit old school. She doesn't really look like Linda Carter, but I was kind of going for something that would emulate her to some degree. So that's where we are on this shelf. And then moving down, these are some of my figures that I don't know exactly what to do with just yet, but I love them. To the far left, we have Batman, and he is from Sideshow Toys. The Robin is either from Toys Era or from So-So Toys. Then, of course, we've got a Kit Supergirl, which looked really good. And then we've got Superman in his blue suit over to the right. And I changed the body out for Superman. I put him on a Feisty body. So, yeah, I kind of dig them. And I think once I get some larger display cases, I will put them in there, and I'll probably put my whole super family together and just have, and same thing with Batman. I mean, I've got so much Batman stuff upstairs that I haven't displayed yet that I definitely want to have a display of just Bat stuff, Bat family. All right, so we're going to move on to our final thing from the basement that I want to show you. Hold on for just a moment, and I'll be back in just a flash. All right, everybody, we are back. We have got most of the figures in these first two blocks of my Magic case are all from TB League. This is part of their Egyptian Gods series. Sitting in the chair, I was sitting on that barrel in the very front. I know that is Anubis. He's the one who looks like a jackal. And then the one in the back right is Horus. The rest of them, I don't remember all their names. So I'm just going to make up names. The back lady, I'm going to call her Birdie Face. Okay. And then the guy in the very front left, we'll call him Hawk Lips. The lady down on the floor, who probably should be in my Catwoman display once I kind of get all my Catwoman together, I'm going to call her Kitty Kitty Purr Purr. Okay? And the guy over here to the far right is Crocodile Head. So I wish I could have gotten. I wish I could have found like a hippo, like in the Moon Knight series. I'd call him maybe Big Butt Belinda or something like that. I don't know. However, we're going to move down to our next set. Now, I don't really have to make up names for these TB League figures because I actually know their names, which is really good and very surprising. In the front left, we have Vampirella, the wonderful vampire lady. And this is the Chinese version. Behind her, we have TB League's Bat Lady. That's what they call her. I think she's an original character. She has a set of wings, but unfortunately I could not display her in this particular case with her wings. So if I'm able to get a larger display, then I'll probably put her bat wings on then. To the right is an angel figure, and she's actually emerging from the clouds, as you can see. And I don't know her exact name, but I think she's pretty cool, and I really like her. To her right is Valkyrie, and she also is a TB League figure. The one in the very front in all white, she is not a TB League figure. This is actually a figure that I found from some random manufacturer, and her name is Ghost. She's actually from a comic book that was drawn, I believe, by Adam Hughes, and her name was Ghost. So what I did is that I didn't like the body that they had her on, so I took her outfit and put it on on a Fison body, and replaced the head, and now I've got my own ghost. And then in the center, we have I think they call her she is a Red Sonja, but she is the steampunk Red Sonja, I believe. I think that's what they call her. But everything except for Ghost, these are all from TB League, or people know the bodies as Fison. Now let's move down to our next two categories. These are actually pretty cool. These are figures from a place called Gangsters Kingdom. Gangsters Kingdom. Let me see if I can turn the lights down just a little bit. I think they may be a little overexposed. All right. So in the very front row, we have the representatives of the of Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction movie. Samuel L. Jackson represented to the left, and of course John Travolta represented to the right as Vincent, and then Quentin in the very center on his director's chair. The back three figures, I don't recall their names, but they just are cool as F, because they are so cool, and I really like them. All right, moving down to the very, very bottom, and the final ones that we're going to look at down here are more characters from the Gangsters Kingdom. Everything except for the lady. The lady sitting in the chair, she's actually a TB League character that they put out, and her name was the Pro. The Pro is basically a woman who was a prostitute, or I'm sorry, we're on YouTube, so let me not say prostitute. I'll call her a lady of the evening. That might be a better fit. And if not, I don't want to call her a woman of ill repute, because that would not be cool. But she actually is a really cool figure. She has a comic book called The Pro, Pro. It's an independent comic, and if you guys ever get a chance to check her out, you should check out The Pro, because it's pretty hilarious. So here we are, and those are the figures I have on display here in the good old basement. So give me a moment. I'm gonna get back up to the grotto, and we'll have some final comments. Hi, fam. It's good to be back with you again. I hope you all enjoyed my downstairs basement collection tour. I have other figures that I haven't had the opportunity to put out yet because I don't really have the display space for it. I have some new cases coming in hopefully very soon, and once I have them up, I'll put them out and be happy to display them again for all of you. And at that point, I may just do a comprehensive collection tour and just see how things go. But listen, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I had a lot of fun just going through all the figures and showing you what I have. And I'm taking some new little classes and stuff. So hopefully you'll see that I have tried a few new little things that I've learned here and there. I'm constantly trying to figure out ways that I can improve my videos and make them look a little bit more professional, a little bit nicer for you. So I hope that you all are enjoying that. And some of you have made some very, very good suggestions to me, and I hope you all will continue to do that. And just remember, this is a place of love and positivity. So I invite you all to come in and be loving and positive with me. Please, though, let's be encouraging to each other. I know that I've heard, I'm not as familiar, but I have heard that there are maybe some negativity things happening in different areas of our community, and we don't need that. We're here because we all share the love of collecting. So let's just kind of keep it there and just enjoy ourselves. And I hope you enjoyed yourself on my tour with me. Again, my name is SpongeBob SquareBalls, also known as SB Square, otherwise known as Classy Thomas. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you with my next video offering. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.